Welcome back to the Well-Rounded Dad channel. We're on part 3 of working with pork tenderloin, and this is going to be an amazing sandwich. It is so good, and it is a Well-Rounded Dad original, so I'm pretty sure you're never going to see this sandwich cooked this way before. What I'm going to call it is the Midwestern Cuban-ish sandwich. Now, before anybody starts freaking out, the Cuban sandwich purists out there, I am in an area where we do not have Cuban restaurants and we do not have Cuban bread. So for anybody who doesn't know, I spent about 10 years down in Florida in Tampa, St. Pete area. But if you're in Miami, you're in Tampa, anywhere near Clearwater, St. Pete, you're going to see Cuban sandwiches and Cuban restaurants, which is really fantastic food if you've never had it. Now, the difference is I'm going to be doing this Tampa style. We are typically looking at in Tampa, you're going to have not only some type of roasted pork, but you're also going to have ham, that's everywhere, but you also add salami. Typically Swiss cheese, and the best ones I've had in Tampa, St. Pete area, they had not just mustard, but mayo and mustard, and then pickle, lettuce, tomato. So that's what we're doing here. The roasted pork comes from yesterday's roasted pork tenderloin. So this is just a creative way to use that pork tenderloin. Of course, you can, mix it into a lot of different leftover dishes because you will most likely have leftovers. But in this part 3, I decided to make us a really nice sandwich. So, as you've seen so far, I toasted the bread, kind of grilled cheese style, but I did butter both sides of the bread and I smashed it down to give it that kind of crunch, that pressed sandwich vibe. And I didn't want to make it all on the pan like a grilled cheese because I just didn't feel like it was going to work well with the condiments and such. So a Cuban sandwich, it's kind of warm on the inside within a toasted flaky bread. It's not like a super melty hot sandwich on the inside. So hitting one side with mustard, hitting the other side with mayo. I'm going to put down some lettuce. And then we're going tomato and pickle. I kind of skipped to mention what I pulled out of the oven there was my meat mixture of your roasted pork, your salami, your ham, and the Swiss cheese. I put the Swiss cheese in the middle just because I felt like it would give me a better idea of when I was starting to just get a pretty light melt on it. So now got that out. I had it in at 350, not terribly long. Just keep an eye on it. You don't want it to be ice cold, but you don't need it to be, like I said, like a melt necessarily. So we're putting this over. We give it a nice cut into. Outside of the bread, of course, kind of buttery like a grilled cheese sandwich, but that's typically what you're going to find when you get a Cuban sandwich as well. It's been put in a sandwich press with the butter on the press. And I am not kidding you. You are going to love this. It is all the flavors of a Cuban sandwich. You still got that crunch. Would it be better with fresh Cuban bread? Probably, but this is pretty dang close, especially in the Midwest. Give it a try. Let me know what you think.